Yes, the headline you saw is actually grounded in reality, even though the official government statement uses a slightly different word to describe the situation. Just a few days ago, on February 24th, 2026, a massive shakeup happened in the Nigerian security sector that left many people talking and wondering what will happen next. President Bola Ahmed Tinubu effectively ended the tenure of the Inspector General of Police, Kayode Egbetokun. While the official story released by the government claims that the police boss willingly resigned due to personal and family reasons, insider reports from the presidential villa tell a much more dramatic story. According to multiple trusted sources, the president actually ordered the police chief to hand in his resignation letter during a high-stakes meeting in Abuja on Monday evening. This sudden removal sent shockwaves across the nation, but according to several reports, it also sparked quiet celebrations and a feeling of immense relief among many officers at the police headquarters who were tired of the heavy controversies surrounding his administration. To truly understand why this happened and why it matters to every single Nigerian, we need to take a massive step back and look at how we got to this boiling point in the first place. When President Tinubu first appointed Kayode Egbetokun as the 22nd Inspector General of Police back in June 2023, many people had high hopes for a fresh approach to tackling the country's security challenges. People thought a new face would bring new ideas to stop crime. However, things quickly became complicated and messy. The first major red flag for the public appeared in September 2024. At that time, the former police chief reached the age of 60, which is the mandatory retirement age for police officers in Nigeria, according to standard civil service rules. Instead of bowing out gracefully and allowing a younger officer to take over, a very controversial amendment to the Police Act was made by the lawmakers. This legal change allowed the president to extend his stay in office, giving him a fixed 4-year term that would have originally ended in late 2027. This extension did not sit well with many civil society organizations, legal experts, and even lower-ranking police officers who felt that the rules were being unfairly bent to favor one person. Many activists openly criticized this move, saying it was illegal and unfair. It created a huge bottleneck in the promotion system and severely damaged the morale of hard-working officers who were waiting for their own time to rise through the ranks. When you work hard in your job, you expect to get promoted, but many officers felt their path was blocked. This growing frustration within the force is exactly why the recent news of his departure caused such a quiet eruption of joy in the police headquarters. People felt that the system was finally correcting itself and that fairness was returning to the police force. But what really caused the president to finally pull the plug on his own appointee after defending him for so long? It was not just one thing, but a long series of disagreements, scandals, and failures that piled up over time until they could no longer be ignored. One of the biggest points of conflict was the important issue of creating state police in Nigeria. As you might know, Nigeria currently operates a single federal police force, which means all orders come from the capital city of Abuja. To make this easy to understand, think about a massive school with thousands of students, but only one headmaster sitting in an office very far away trying to control everything. If a fight breaks out in a classroom at the very end of the hallway, it will take a long time for the headmaster to find out and send help. That is how the current federal police system works. Due to the rising cases of crime and general insecurity across different states, the president and many state governors have been strongly pushing for the creation of state-owned police forces. This means a police officer working in a local village will be someone who grew up there, who knows all the small corners and hiding places, and who understands the local language perfectly. Surprisingly, the former police chief was openly against this brilliant idea. He argued against his boss in public forums, claiming that state governors would abuse state police for their own selfish political gain and use them against their enemies. While his fear might be understandable to some people, it directly clashed with the president's major security agenda for his administration. You simply cannot have a police chief who openly fights the main security policy of the commander-in-chief. This deep disagreement made it very difficult for the government to move forward with its plans, making the former police boss a heavy political burden that the president could no longer carry. If you are enjoying this deep dive into the real reasons behind the headlines and want to stay updated on how these government decisions affect your daily life, please take a quick second to like this video and subscribe to the channel so you never miss out on important stories like this. Your support helps us keep bringing you the truth. Another major reason for his sudden removal was his complete failure to execute a direct presidential order regarding very important people, or VIPs. For many years, Nigerians have complained bitterly about how thousands of capable police officers are taken off the streets and assigned to carry bags, hold umbrellas, and open doors for wealthy politicians, business people, and celebrities, leaving regular citizens with little to no protection from criminals. Imagine walking through a dangerous neighborhood at night with no police in sight, but then you drive past a big party and see 20 armed police officers just standing there guarding one wealthy individual who is dancing and having fun. It is very unfair and leaves the country vulnerable. The president had given a clear and strict order to withdraw these police guards from people who were not legally entitled to them, so those officers could be deployed to actual crime hotspots to protect the masses. Unfortunately, the former police chief failed to make this happen. Reports show that the rate of withdrawing these officers was extremely low, and the unfair system remained exactly the same. Furthermore, the Nigerian police under his watch received heavy international embarrassment when a major global press institute blacklisted his leadership for failing to protect journalists and correct bad behavior within the force. There were also allegations of favoritism and nepotism regarding the promotion of certain officers who were reportedly close to him, which made the public trust him even less. There were also whispers about his declining health, with some trusted sources claiming the president advised him to step down to take better care of himself. All these massive issues combined created a perfect storm that led to that fateful meeting in the presidential villa where he was told to pack his bags and prepare his handover notes without delay. Now, let us talk about the man who has stepped into this very hot seat. After the exit of the former leader, the president immediately approved the appointment of Assistant Inspector General of Police Tunji Disu as the Acting Inspector General of Police. This new appointment has brought a massive wave of excitement and expectation, not just within the police force, but among regular Nigerians who follow security matters closely. Tunji Disu is widely regarded as one of Nigeria's finest, most intelligent, and most modern police officers. Before this massive promotion, he was the officer in charge of the Force Criminal Investigation Department Annex in Alagbon, Lagos, where he promised to fight corruption with absolute zero tolerance. But he is perhaps most famous for his time as the head of the National Intelligence Response Team in Abuja and his time leading the Rapid Response Squad in Lagos State. He has also served as the Commissioner of Police in Rivers State and the Federal Capital State. This new acting police chief is a highly educated officer. He holds a degree in English education from Lagos State University, along with 2 master's degrees, including one in criminology, security, and legal psychology. He is also a respected member of the International Association of Chiefs of Police. His impressive background suggests that he is a man who understands both the physical street fighting aspects and the deep psychological aspects of solving crime in a modern world. As we watch these events unfold, it is also very important to look at how information spreads in our modern world. When this breaking news first hit the internet, especially on platforms like YouTube and other social media apps, there were many different versions of the story flying around. Some people said it was a total breakdown of the police force, while others claimed the former chief was arrested. This is exactly why it is so crucial to wait for verified facts and to follow channels that take the time to scour the internet, check the correct dates, and bring you the true story without unnecessary panic. Fake news can easily cause riots or unnecessary tension in a country that is already dealing with a lot of economic and security stress. By relying on solid journalistic reports from trusted sources in 2026, we can clearly see that this was a political and administrative decision by the president to align his security team with his future goals rather than an arbitrary attack on an individual. This transition of power, while sudden, is a normal part of how governments operate when they want to change direction or when an official becomes a heavy political burden to carry forward. The quiet jubilation at the police headquarters simply shows that the rank-and-file police officers are hungry for a leader who will prioritize their welfare and the strict rule of law over personal interests. Before we wrap up this discussion, we also need to talk about the role of the public in this new era of the Nigerian police force. For too long, there has been a huge wall of distrust between the police and the everyday citizens. Many people are afraid to report crimes or share useful information because they fear they might be turned into suspects themselves or that their identities will not be protected. If the new Acting Inspector General of Police truly wants to succeed, he must make community relations a top priority. He has to ensure that police stations become safe havens for victims of crime rather than places of fear and extortion. When he was the head of the Rapid Response Squad in Lagos State, he was well known for being very active on social media, responding to citizen complaints directly and punishing rogue officers who misbehaved on the roads. Many Nigerians are hoping he brings that same open, transparent and strict energy to the national level. Furthermore, the federal government must do its part by making sure the police budget is actually spent on providing good uniforms, durable patrol vehicles, and modern communication gadgets.